Today I'm sharing a whole bunch of Christmas DIYs from home decor to gift ideas, and I've even included some festive recipes. I'll be back in the coming weeks with my full Christmas decor video. For now, I hope this gives you some inspiration as you start prepping for the season. I found these lighting fixture covers down at Value Village and these at Hobby Lobby. I first started by measuring that top to see how wide it was, and found some washers to match that width. Once that paint was dry, I glued one on the inside and one on top. I then topped these with brown wax and drilled a small hole on the bottom. To make these actually function as a bell, I tied a wooden bead to some twine and attached that to this and hot glued that underneath. These gold Bottlebrush trees at Pottery Barn are beautiful, but in my opinion, that price tag is a bit hefty. I found these down at Hobby Lobby. They were half off, and I was able to get both of them for about $16. After getting those good and wet, I took some leftover flocking that I had on hand and sprinkled that on. If you've never worked with flocking like this before, it's super simple to use, but it's also very messy. So you'll want to be sure to have something disposable underneath them to protect your floors. Once that flocking was dry, I went over it with some gold spray paint. And then followed that with some glitter spray. I think we were able to achieve a similar look for a lot less. I want to take a moment to share about today's sponsor, Foreo. They have some amazing Black Friday deals, and in a bit I'm going to share how you can get an additional discount. About 5 months ago, I started using Foreo's FAQ 202 LED silicone masks, and recently I started using their FAQ red light peptide serum before each session. This is formulated to help support and enhance the LED treatment. Once applied, I just put the mask on, let it do its thing, and I can move around and get other things done. It's super lightweight, wireless, and I love that it's made of that silicone so it flexes and the light sits evenly over your whole face. In the past, I haven't been great about sticking with a skincare routine, but this is so easy to use. And as I said, I've been using this for a while now, and I'm definitely noticing a difference in my skin. I'm seeing fine lines softening, redness coming down, and overall, my skin just feels a lot healthier. This mask has 8 different wavelengths, including near infrared, which are used in clinical settings to help support healing, help with things like uneven tone, spots, and minimizing the look of pores over time. Friends, if you've been putting this off, this is a great time to buy. Foreo already has some great Black Friday deals, but they're also offering giving you, my viewers, an additional 35% off almost all Foreo products. This even includes the ones that are already discounted, so that means you could get up to 50% off. To claim that, just click that link down in the description and use my code 35GEMMER at checkout to get an additional 35% off. If you're looking for a unique gift idea, head down to your thrift store and go check out that glassware section. Here I'm using microwave safe wax. This next one is a favorite in our house. To make this, you first start with some pretzel sticks, melt some chocolate, For the noses, I used orange sprinkles. I highly suggest using silicone trays. It makes getting these out a lot easier. I then popped those in the freezer until frozen and added to hot cocoa. Here I'm using some double-sided tape and some wired ribbon. Dollar Tree right now, you can pick up these clear shatterproof ornaments, and there are so many things you can do with these. First, you can use acrylic paint. Add several different colors, layering them. And then start rolling that ornament around. This will give it kind of a marble look. Once the inside of that ornament is completely covered, set it inside of a cup and let the excess paint drip out. If you want the design to stay like it is, you'll want to set it in front of a fan so it dries quickly, or you can leave it set in that cup and let it air dry for more of a streaky effect like this. This is also a great project to let the kiddos get in on. Next, you can fill them with confetti. Another thing you can do is take pieces of crayon, drop them in, and use your hairdryer to melt those crayons. Of course, when doing this, it's going to get somewhat hot. So to help with that, you can use some pliers to hold the ornament, and just be sure to keep it moving so you don't melt the actual ornament. Next, take some spray adhesive and spray it inside the ornament. And then add glitter. For this, I also used some antique gold rub and buff on that top and added ribbon. Here's a very simple way to fold a napkin. For this next recipe, you'll need 2 cans of pizza crust. Roll that out, top with cheddar cheese and deli ham, and then top that with the other crust. Then trim off the edges with a pizza cutter. And cut into 8 strips. You'll then lift one end and zigzag it back and forth to create the shape of a Christmas tree. Then take a skewer and run it down the center. Then put those in the oven at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. While those are in the oven, we'll take some butter, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and about a ½ teaspoon of salt. Melt that, and then add some minced parsley. Brush that over top, and top with Parmesan cheese. My family loved these, and next time I'll be serving them with some marinara dipping sauce. And for a sweeter option, you can do this exact same thing with 2 sheets of puff pastry and Nutella. Then top with an egg wash and bake in a 375-degree oven for about 25 minutes. Once done, finish off with some powdered sugar and enjoy. If you find yourself in a situation where you're just a bit short on wrapping paper, try turning that object to an angle. And here's a fun way to finish off those gifts. You can find these little miniature wreaths down at Hobby Lobby or on Amazon. You'll then take some double-sided ribbon, run it through the wreath, and back up into a V. Then take one end of the ribbon, wrap it around, and again go up through the wreath and create another V. Then flip it over and tie it off. For this next one, you'll need some clear cellophane and some individually wrapped candies. You'll then take some stretchy elastic cord and tie between each candy. Cut off the excess string and connect the ends to make a wreath shape. For this next project, I'm using 2 layers of parchment paper. You'll then need some pine cones. You can, of course, get these for free out in nature, or if you don't want to mess with cleaning them or deal with bugs, you can do like I did and order them on Amazon. I then took these little hooks, put them in my drill, and drilled them into one end of each pine cone. I then added them to a large Ziploc bag and covered with Mod Podge. I didn't show this, but I ended up adding a splash of water to thin that Mod Podge just a bit to help make sure it got down into the pine cones. I then topped with coarse glitter . Pouring the loose glitter over and topped with fine glitter. I then tied on some ribbon. You can find these ornaments down at Hobby Lobby, as well as these bells. And here I took an old frame that I had on hand and started hot gluing. For this next recipe, you'll need some white melting chocolate, some Oreos, miniature Reese's, and sprinkles. I found this again down at Hobby Lobby for under $5. Painted it with some apple barrel paint in the color Antique Parchment. I then used some yarn that I'd found in the Goodwill bins and hot glued it on. If, like me, you frequently use a hot glue gun, I highly suggest that you go cordless. My husband got this for me quite a while back and I love it. So if you're interested in a cordless hot glue gun, I'll have this linked for you. I then used some pearl push pins as ornaments. When you're out thrifting and you find little frames, remember that those can very easily be turned into an ornament. Place a small bowl on the center of a plate and add hummus. Then top with fresh parsley, halved cherry tomatoes, and Parmesan cheese. Then use a peeler and cucumber to create a bow. Pottery Barn is very well known for their gingerbread line. When I came across this at the thrift store, I decided to try to recreate the look. After removing that light, I spray painted this with the color Warm Caramel. And then used puff paint for the frosting. I found these foam balls in the Goodwill bins, as well as these pearls. If you're not familiar with the Goodwill bins, you dig through bins of items, pick what you want, and you pay for those items by the pound. Every store is a little bit different, but at my local store, they're currently charging $1.49 per pound for housewares. So this is a great way to decorate on a budget. If you're wondering if there's one of these stores in your area, I put together a list of all of the locations I could find, and you can find that down in the description box. For this recipe, you'll need 2 cans of crescents, cut those into triangles, and place in a row. Then take the other can and do the same. Next, take a half a block of softened cream cheese and mix that with 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Next, you'll need 1 can of cherry pie filling, then fold those ends over and tuck them under. And then carefully lift that top section, bending it over into the shape of a candy cane. Slide that onto a baking sheet and brush with melted butter. Then bake at 350 degrees for approximately 15 minutes or until golden brown. While that's in the oven, mix up a glaze using a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and a splash of milk. I poured that glaze into a Ziploc bag and drizzled it over top. Here's an easy way to make bows for your gifts. Take a long strip of wrapping paper, fold it in half, and starting at the open end, start cutting a fish shape. When you're doing this, imagine that that open end is the tail and the folded end is the nose. You can cut a V in that tail, and then right at the base of that tail, cut a small slit on one side, then flip it over and do the same on the other. Then interlock those 2 slits and push that nose in. This candy striped pillar candle currently retails for $89. I was able to pick up a set of these in the exact same size for a lot less. I then used some painter's tape and taped at an angle. I used small strips of painter's tape to act as a guide to help keep my lines straight and my spacing even. I then brushed on Mod Podge, and added glitter. I ultimately decided to go back in and do a second coat with that Mod Podge and glitter. In the end, I think we have a similar looking candle for a fraction of the price. And with the other candle that I got in that set, I decided to see if we could recreate this one. I found this material again on Amazon. And hot glued in place. Here I thinly sliced oranges. Then set those on a paper towel to help absorb the moisture. Transfer to parchment paper. Then place in a 175-degree oven and set a timer for 1 hour. Each hour you'll flip those and reset that timer for another hour. And this project does take a long time, so this is a great one to do when you're going to be home all day. These were dried and ready to use in about 7 hours. There are several different things you can do with these. First is you can turn them into ornaments. To do this, just take an ornament hook and push it through. To get them to hang straight on the tree, you'll want to bend that top hook to the side. Next, you can create garland. To do this, I used some twine and a needle. Fed it through one side and then back through beside it. Next, you can add some apples, and cranberries, and dry those out as well. Just be aware that the cranberries take a lot longer, so I ended up pulling the apples and oranges out and left those cranberries in for several more hours. I then added cinnamon sticks and cloves, and printed off directions. And I did create this, so if you would like these printable tags, again, I'll have these linked for you down in the description box. I found this clock at the Goodwill. And created this design. Again, I'll have this linked for you. I primed over those numbers so they wouldn't show through. And to add durability, topped with Mod Podge. I found this cute gift bag at Walmart. Removed the handle on one side and placed in a thrifted frame. And here's a very simple treat. First, melt some melting chocolate. Lay some Pocky sticks on parchment paper. Add that chocolate to a Ziploc bag. Cut off the end and drizzle it over those in the shape of a Christmas tree. And before those have a chance to set up, add sprinkles. Here I used an old battery-operated candle, first removing the batteries. I then found a napkin that I liked. You can use any pattern or color you want here. Used a heat gun. If you don't have a heat gun, you can definitely do this project with a hair dryer. I then brushed on some Mod Podge. And added some glitter powder for a frosted look. For that difficult to buy for person in your life, here's something they're sure to use. Fold 3 triangles, making each progressively smaller. Then attach with double-sided tape. Here I used a star to act as a guide. Once those were glued together, I then assembled a second star using the first one as a guide. used a paper towel roll and marked every ½ inch. And then hot glued about 1/3 of the way up on each of these. I kept stacking and gluing until I had 12 of them on there. Then glue those together. For this next one, you'll need some brownies. Squish those up into this shape. Then use this chocolate scoop cereal. I'll have this link down below. Start at the top and work your way down. I found this works best when you stagger the pieces. And then top with powdered sugar. I found this frame at Value Village. Used a red Sharpie to touch up the scratches. And used this thrifted shirt. Remember, when you're out shopping, if you find something and you like the pattern or the material, whether it's a shirt or a curtain, it's all made out of fabric, so don't be afraid to repurpose it. These pearl bow ornaments currently sell for $39 for a set of 4 of them, but you can make them for a lot less. Once I had 16 pearls on each side and 1 in the center, I fed one end through the center bead and then did the same with the other. Then tied that and added more on the ends. And then, of course, tied those ends off. I found this in the Goodwill bins and primed over it. Here I'm using lightweight spackling. Mixed that with wood glue and a little bit of paint. This project certainly does not require perfection. Just have fun with it and keep going until you're happy with it. I then went in with a smaller one. Before it had a chance to dry, I added some pearls, some buttons, and some rhinestones. I highly suggest mixing up things like this in some cheap Tupperware so that if you have leftovers, you can just pop that lid on and use it again later. I then topped this off with one of those pearl bows. My inspiration for this next one is this Pottery Barn centerpiece. This currently retails for $149. I first cut some scrap wood to length, painted it white, and started hot gluing. Once I had those good and wet, I topped those with flocking. And added some battery lights. Here are a few ways you can tie a bow like this. First, take some double-sided ribbon, grab near one end with your pinky, then loop back and forth multiple times between your thumb and your pointer finger. On the last loop, when you go over your pointer finger, crisscross it down, then tuck it under and feed it up and around. Then take that ribbon that your pinky was holding, cross it over the other, feed it through the center, and pull tight. The second way you can do this is by taping 2 pencils to your countertop. Again, take your double-sided ribbon and weave it back and forth. Once you have even loops on both sides, crisscross the ribbon at the bottom, bring the ends up and around, and tie at the top. If you're not up for decorating a whole gingerbread house, here's an easy alternative. Here I'm making white salt dough ornaments. To help minimize the mess, I'm mixing this up in a bag. I first added some white paint, some white flour, some salt. I then added water and mixed up. I used a straw to poke holes in the ornaments that needed it. You can either let these set out and air dry, or if you want to speed up the process, you can put them in an oven at 175 degrees for a few hours. Here I wrapped this foam cone in parchment paper. I quickly realized that this would be a lot easier on my cake plate that spins. If using salami on this, you'll want to be sure to get the thin sliced so you can fold it into quarters. I then used star cookie cutters and rosemary as a garnish. I'll have everything I can linked for you down in that description box. And if you enjoyed this, would you hit that thumbs up button? And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. If you liked this video, you're going to love this one as well. Wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'll see you next time.